that needs to be fixed. Sorry to start the episode off in such a fashion, but seriously, if anyone is a suspension specialist and knows how to fix those squeaks, please let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, good morning. Welcome to build episode number 18. I am practicing speaking in front of a crowd at the moment. So I've got all my mates over there getting ready for getting back out in public. Hopefully lockdown is going to be finishing in Melbourne in the next, or in Victoria in the next few weeks. So yeah, got to get ready to get back out in the real world. And with that, there are more changes that are going to be kind of happening very soon in regards to, I guess, my world and the way that I present it online. First of all, I wanted to say that build episode 18 is going to be the very last build episode for the van on the Max and Lee channel. After this episode, the next episode, which I'm actually going to drop right now at the same time, is build episode 19, if you can work that out, is going to be on the Max and Oki channel. From now on, my videos are going to go on the Max and Oki channel, but I wanted to let you guys all know here, it's, you know, I've just decided that it's the right time to move over. I always said from the start that the build was going to be here, but the rest is going to be over there, including the van tour, the Oki reunion. So pretty much I'm blackmailing you to go over there. So please head over that way, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification so you know when I put videos up. And for anyone that chooses not to go over there and follow the journey and that wants to say goodbye here, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for following along. You know, it's been a bit of a crazy ride, this build, as well as the whole Max and Lee channel. And I have to say I've got nothing but kind of good memories from all of it. And yeah, you guys have been such a great support and you're always so positive. So thank you so much for that, and maybe I'll see you out on the road sometime. Okay, moving more closer to the present. For starters, as you can see, the weather has improved here, which is bloody amazing. It's starting to move towards, well, we're into spring here in Australia. It's going to be slowly warming up and getting really ready for the temperature to be perfect for moving into the van. There is a little bit of Oki news. I'm going to leave that for the Max and Oki channel. Okay, and now back to van business. The reason this has been a couple of weeks in between videos is because I have been waiting on the outer cabinetry to arrive. As I said in the last episode, I ordered like the cabinet doors and everything to give a really professional finished look. They were supposed to take, I think, 10 days and they've kind of taken 20. So, you know, there's not much I can do about it. So this episode is going to be all the kind of little loose ends that I've been tying off the last couple of weeks with jobs with the van. And then the next episode on the Max and Oki channel, starting straight after this, is going to go into where we are at the present. So let's start back with where I was at, feels like ages ago, but 2 weeks ago, when I started building all the bloody drawers.
Turns out all along I was already ready to go. I guess you just didn't know. And now I'm back doing all that I wanted. I'm gonna finish all the things that I started. If I'm being honest, I just didn't let it show. But turns out all along I was already ready to go. Everything feels so much better than it did before. Jumping off, now I know this is living. Taking no time, getting up to the ceiling. And if I'm being honest, I just didn't let it show. But turns out all along I was already ready to go.
So it's day 2 in the workshop. All of my drawer boards are all cut and I've actually started assembling the drawers. I wanted to do a couple before I show you guys just because I wanted to make sure they were going to work. But essentially I'm combining a couple of different techniques to do these drawers. For the front of the drawers, I'm using pocket holes to do all the connections. And then that way the drawer front is going to go in front of it, you won't see it. And then I'm using nails to attach the base of the board. And then on the side, there will be absolutely nothing on the side. So when you pull the drawer out, it'll look really good. And the other way the base is attached is there's also pocket holes on the side. As I think I mentioned before, my last van had 0 drawers. This van so far is having 9 plus the slide out table, plus the slide out fridge. So really kind of 11 drawers. And these are the first I've ever made, but I'm really happy with how these are coming together. I got some great tips from Drew, whose workshop I'm using. So remember the RV Lab door handles I got from Brett? So these latches are what's going to hold my cupboards in place. But you have to kind of design your cupboard around them. So as you've seen, I've just rotated out this piece and then this little catch will go in there. So I'm just finishing putting in the final rail, thankfully. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can either put rails like this in, so when the drawer slides shut, it catches into this. Or the other way you can get away with it is you can have it so the latches just catch on the drawer front of the drawer above. But the problem with doing that is you're essentially making all of yours rely on the top latch to stay closed. And if you open a drawer on it when you're on a tilt, then they'll all come open. Well, that one marks the final piece of the puzzle. So it turns out drawers are actually a fair bit of work. Who knew? As usual, bigger job than I thought it was going to be. Huge thank you to Drew for letting me use his workshop. They never would have turned out anywhere near as good without, you know, the precision cutting equipment that he had that I was able to borrow. Also, the knowledge he gave me for what to do was huge, and I'm excited to kind of have that knowledge now and into the future. So after I finished the drawers, I kind of thought, okay, now I'll put the outer cabinetry on. As I told you at the start of this episode though, it just didn't arrive. So instead, I started really just tying off loose ends with all these odd jobs that I had to do on the van. I did the usual, I wrote a list and really just started attacking that list with the plan that, you know, as soon as the cabinetry is on and I get that next stuff moving along, I can move into the van and get out of Dodge, get out of here. So let's get into it. So one of my reading lights just arrived, and you know, as usual, it's something that I ordered off the internet, so I didn't see it in person. And I have to say, it is a a little bit smaller in real life than I pictured from the internet picture. But I actually think it's kind of cool. So this isn't where I was going to put it. I was actually going to put it in the back, but because it's so small, I reckon it's going to be the perfect reading light for above this seat for when I have a swivel here. It'll be able to tilt down for it and also be able to work for someone sitting in that passenger seat. So remember way back when I ran all the electrical wiring and I talked about daisy chaining? What I've done here is just run the positive wire that goes up to the reading light up here, and all I've done is run that positive into the same positive that comes from the batteries, and the negative is, these negatives are just all tied together. So not only is this switch powering that light, but if I flick this, it should also be powering this. I tell you what, the weather here the last few days has been bloody amazing, and it's making me really excited for the fact that this van is going to be done just in time for beach weather, sunshine, and, well, hopefully sharing those with Occy too. As I continue to tick off small jobs whilst I wait for the outer cabinetry doors, I just sat in the sunshine for a little bit and read up on this RVWIFI. It's my next thing I wanted to install in the van. And what it essentially is a little, I guess it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's a little Wi-Fi modem, just like the Wi-Fi you'd have in your house, with the exception is it's Wi-Fi for the van. And the modem just accepts a regular SIM card like you'd put in the phone. It comes with a prepaid $2 Telstra SIM that you just need to activate, but you're not locked into any provider. All you have to do is put the SIM card in, plug it in, and it's good to go. The additional thing that makes the installation a bit trickier if you're doing it at this stage is if you want to add the external antenna that it comes with. That's this little guy. I am currently choosing not to go with the external antenna only because, as you can see, I've already clad the ceiling and the roof, and I kind of don't want to put any more holes on the roof. I am thinking about putting an antenna on the bull bar, but in the meantime, it also comes with the option for just using 4 internal antennas. That's what these little guys are. And if you're wondering why I'm putting Wi-Fi in the van, it is definitely a little bit luxurious. But my reason for putting Wi-Fi and not, say, just hotspotting off your phone is there's a couple. One is that I'm planning on putting in security system that has video monitoring and everything, and that needs 24-hour Wi-Fi. So that's probably the main reason. The second reason is a bit more on the luxurious side. I'll show you that when I get it set up. It's a tough call if I want to put it in this cupboard because it's already so nicely organized and so neat, but I think I can kind of safely put it up here and it's out of the way of everything. It does come with a power cord, you know, with the cigarette socket, which would be nice and easy for me to just put into one of these. Oh, not that one. Into one of these. However, I think I'm going to cut the end off this and then plug it to one of these switches. Oh shit, I forgot how many wires there are behind this thing. That's a bit neater power supply option. Alrighty, that certainly looks a little neater, and I should just be able to flick this one on. and we have power. You beauty. So then, let's try.
Good morning.
Considering that most jobs in this van have taken me way longer than expected, that was just super easy, which was nice. And one final thing I did read from their instructions that I thought was a pretty good feature is in the frequently asked questions, it says, how many concurrent Wi-Fi device connections can your product support? So how many people could be connected at once? Any guesses? The limit is 230 devices. So Wi-Fi's on me, guys. Wi-Fi's on me. Well, that job was nice quickie for a change. I just installed a light bar. This one's the Nex 8 light bar by NOXSOLIS. And I was pretty keen to get one of these on because even though my high beams on the van are decent, the back roads in Australia, so all these country roads, especially around here, there's a lot of kangaroos, and I hit one in my last van, and not only is it not ideal to hit them, it does a lot of damage to your vehicle. So this bad boy should really light up a lot further ahead for me. I'll give it a test out tonight. So I don't know if you can see anything, but I have to say, it's weird being out here at night on the farm. It's so quiet everywhere. There's no lights around anywhere. So it's a good spot to test the driving lights. Let's have a look how they go. All right, turn this on off. Okay, so currently we are on normal driving lights. This is my regular high beam. And make sure you note how far it goes out to the sides as well as the front. And now flick on the new light bar driving lights. Ooh, that is quite the difference. No roos sneaking up on me from either side of the road with this bad boy going. Good afternoon. Another day waiting means another job getting done. I'm installing the final water tank. This one is a 70-litre one that is going to add to my fresh water supply, and they're all going to be linked up together. This morning I went back to the metal fabrication shop and got these metal frames welded up for it. And I've given them a paint so they are ready to go. So I just spent an hour getting this tank up in place. It's really kind of difficult to do on your own, and I've got a migraine, which I never normally get, so that's not helping. But it's super snug. I'm really happy with how it fits. But when I was putting the last bolt in up here, I kept pushing this out of the way, being like, bloody hell, that's annoying. And just as the bolt was going in, I realized that it is the tank gauge for this tank, which I was meant to have put in before putting it up. So I've got to take it all down again to put the tank gauge in. So I think I'm going to be done for today and do that tomorrow. Okay, so hopefully second time was the charm. The tank is back up in place. It now has the water level gauge in place. I have plumbed it into the system. All it cost me was a little nick above the eye from a bolt for my troubles, but I think it should be good to go now. So I've just got to find somewhere I can fill up the water, and technically both water tank levels should rise as I'm filling the tanks, technically. So I can definitely hear water going into tank numero uno. And if we get under here, I think I can also hear water coming into tank numero dos. But it's kind of hard to tell, and because this is the inaugural fill of the back tank, I think we're just gonna have to rely off the tank gauges and see how she bloody goes. Looking forward to not getting under this van again for a while, I'll tell you that much. And above the wheel here is where the breathers come out. This is for the grey water and the fresh, and then for fresh number 2. And my bet is that water is going to come out of fresh first because it is slightly lower down. Oh, it's a boy! So I've jumped in the van because it's howling a gale out there. It's so nice and quiet in here. But essentially, that didn't work, and I'm not sure why. I checked on the tank gauges and my primary tank is full, but the other tank, my new tank, is saying that it's empty, which doesn't really make sense. When I tap on it, it does sound kind of hollow. I'm just not sure why it's not getting fill. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out, but not right now. And just like that, we are caught up on the last 2 weeks and back to the present. I did a bit of research last night on why the water tanks weren't filling properly. Turns out that I think I need to put a bigger breather hose on the second tank to encourage the water to flow across, and also fill at a little bit slower rate to allow them to kind of equalize as they go up. So fingers crossed that is the solution. As I mentioned, this video is going to be in 2 parts, so I'm going to finish it pretty abruptly here because the next part is on the NOXSOLIS channel. I really hope to see a lot of you over there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and really in general for the whole build series, if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Head over to the NOXSOLIS channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification. It'll all be linked in a couple of moments on the end of this video. Hopefully I'll see you over there. Bye guys.